Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are... It is a Wednesday edition of the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage. Tom Gazzola, Shawn, Belle, and Derek Van Diest from NHL.com.
Let's go.
We're going to have a great show today. The Hangout is presented by Sentinel Storage. Sentinel Storage, Canada's official storage partner, and until February 28th, they have a 50% off deal for 12 weeks. So check them out, sentinel.ca. Hey, good morning, boys. What's going on?
Good morning. Nice kicks.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
You like those?
New?
New-ish.
New-ish?
Yeah. But you can only wear them with like certain colors, I think.
Yeah.
I've worn these around you.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Huh.
Cool.
How about those?
You look good.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. You look good too. You're wearing your NHL shield proudly?
Yeah. First thing I grabbed in the closet. So.
Oh, okay. Nice. Edmonton Oilers
Thank you.
Heritage Classic. Very nice.
Thank you very
Okay,
much,
good. We're all sharing.
Did we start earlier than Maddie ever has?
No.
Ooh.
It's 9:07.
Well, we've already been on for a minute.
Yeah. Maddie's usually ready to go. So I feel like it's a Jasmine thing, or we just get caught up conversing, and we're right on time.
Instagram reels.
Well, yeah, somebody's putting up Instagram reels, which is very important, especially if you're an influencer. But we don't care about that stuff in this room. I don't think the three of us give two hoots about that. But yeah, thank you for getting up early today. For
No problem.
Coming in, I appreciate that.
Usually sleep in, but
Oh
What's
yeah,
a sleeping for you?
there's a couch in Dusty's
9.
office you can sleep
9?
on.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
9. Yeah.
God.
But then again, you are working till 11:30 at night every night when the games are on.
Yeah, I noticed you working till 11:30 last night.
Well, I was off last night.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding. Lots to talk about today. Obviously, the men's Olympic hockey tournament is underway. The women's is well underway. The Canadian women losing 5-0 to the U.S. I don't know if you guys watched much. I know you and I were talking about it yesterday.
Yeah, I
We'll
watched the whole
discuss.
game, yeah.
Did you catch much of it?
I didn't know.
Our girls are in trouble.
Yeah.
They're in trouble. That's the bottom line. We'll get into that and much more. You can text us 780-218-9999. Jump into the nasty chat as well. Belzy's watching the nasty chat. You're watching it?
I am.
Okay, I'll take care of the text line and away we go. But yeah, so okay, you and I, we were talking about it last night. Like, our girls are in trouble on the hockey side.
Like actually, I was talking to Bellsy about it just before we got on the air. It's the thing that surprised me most was how surprised people were that the U.S. won so easily last night.
They shouldn't be surprised.
They should
That's
be
the thing.
surprised if you were watching that, that series leading up to the games and watching them play against each other for the last 2 years.
Series was here.
Yeah,
For 2 games.
For 2 games, and they got spanked.
Yep.
Both games they were here. The U.S. is just a younger, faster, better team right now, and it looks like Canada's kind of aged out. I don't know enough about the personnel, who they left home, who they took, where the younger players are. But, I'm sure there are some younger players that were left off that team in lieu of veterans, and it didn't work. So whatever leading up to the games, you saw that it wasn't working, and somehow they magically thought it was going to turn around at the Olympics, and it doesn't work that way. If you see something's not working leading up to an event, you shouldn't be shocked that it didn't work at the event. And I think that's the one thing that's surprised me. It's like, this isn't surprising considering what we saw in the rivalry series, because the rivalry series, the Americans were much faster, much stronger, and they're a much better team, and they showed that last night. They're a much better team from the drop of the puck.
Belzy, essentially, our Canadian girls were chasing the game. Like,
That's a tough feeling.
Their puck touches weren't great. They were stuck in their own zone for a huge chunk of the game. I turned it off and left my place because I was watching it at my home before I went out at 4-0. The shots were 22-9. And then our girls were gooning it up, essentially. DVD and I were talking about this. and like the panel, it was Claire, Cassie, and Haley Salvian. And Cassie was getting pretty fired up about it. I went home and watched that.
Yeah, she was fired up.
She was getting pissed off.
At what part? Like, them
Well, she was
losing?
upset. So Abby Murphy's the next great star, hockey star. That girl can play.
She did the
She was the one that
chip
did the.
up.
I don't know if you guys saw in college. She plays at Boston University. No,
yeah,
Minnesota.
I saw that
University
play.
of Minnesota.
Yeah.
She was 1-on-1 with a girl. She flipped it up in the air, batted it down between her legs, walked around her, and then one-handed assisted the puck across.
Yeah.
For the goal.
Yep.
Unbelievable play. Just even to think of trying to do something is like that. But she is
Legit
a
great
really
play.
smart player, but she is also has an edge to her game where she frustrates opponents. And she frustrates opponents because first off, women's hockey is no contact. So Canada was just gooning it up. Like every time they hit her, she fell down and drew a penalty. But yeah, it's a no contact game. You can't throw body checks. And she drew 4 penalties. And the Canadians were just, and we saw the replays last night. All 4 were penalties.
They're
in my
penalties,
opinion. All
I'm
4
sorry,
penalties.
like,
Like you can complain about her diving and flopping and whatever, but
Embellishing.
all 4 were penalties. Like there was the one day she got two-handed in the back, and the other girl body checked her at the same time.
There's one coming off the wall. Our girl came off the bench.
Came off the bench, completely
Flipped her, basically, yeah.
completely stuck her shoulder in her chest. Interference. The other girl grabbed her. It was an obvious grab. She grabbed her around the waist, spun her around. Yeah, she may have fallen, a little easily, but that's a penalty. And I think the third one, she was on her knees in the corner and she got run over. The puck was nowhere there.
Yeah, she was already down. Turnbull came in and
just
hit
plowed
her.
her.
Yeah, knocked her over.
And knocked her over. And that's a penalty. So it was funny because I love Cassie. I think she's wonderful, but she was really upset in the first period at some of the embellishment that they're. The second period, she was upset because she realized, this team is a lot better than Canada.
It's obvious.
She was like, how dare you?
She said, these guys are a lot better.
Shoot.
But it was, and I love Cassie, and I thought the broadcast was great. They had the one goal that probably shouldn't have been allowed for goaltender.
Yeah, I thought that shouldn't have been a goal.
It was a bad call.
And
bad
the
goal,
challenge, I thought on the challenge they would reverse it.
Yeah.
They pushed our Canadian goalie's Debian's pad in.
Well, so he got bowled over, pushed the pad in, the puck went in the net.
Yeah,
There was that scramble
I
in
think
front.
was a bad call.
But
not that it would change the game.
exactly, and that's exactly what Cassie Campbell said. That makes no difference.
They're getting
And
their
then
asses kicked.
I think it was Haley Sullivan said, "Well, it does make a difference." No, it doesn't make a difference.
No.
Because they would have won 4-0 instead of 5.
Because they probably would have scored anyway.
Probably because he hit the goalpost 3 times.
Yeah. I know Marie-Philippe Poulin was not playing. They showed MPP many times in the stands, and like most of us or many Canadians, she was kind of flabbergasted too. But I don't want there to be panic and be like, oh, our women need to be better. And yes, they need to be better, but like, what do we need to do? We got to go back to the drawing board.
There is going to be panic, though. That's the problem.
But I hate that. And it happens on the men's side, happens on the women's side, happens at World Juniors. It's like, did we pick the right team, as Derek asked? Is our strategy right? What are the Americans doing so well that we need to improve our game? Because we have the talent, we have the resources.
But that right there is
Figure
why.
it out.
That's why people panic. Because when you look at it, Canada dominated for so long. And
but the Americans were right there the whole time.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they weren't. But now when you look at what's happened in the last, 3-4 games, it is a complete reversal. And it's not even like Canada's in the games. So
7 in a row that I think they've lost to the U.S., right?
well, that right there probably tells you everything
Something like
you
that,
need
or
to
the
know.
record is 7-1.
Yeah.
So there is going to be panic because at the end of the day, Canada has used this formula of players from yesteryear to continue on. But the U.S. just turned and said, okay, no, we're going to go younger. We're going to get faster. We're going to get more skilled. We're developing our players at a high clip. And now when you put these kids into this situation versus the older guard of the Canadians, well, like we're not even in the same stratosphere. So I think for a lot of people, they will panic because they're going to be like, well, how did this happen? Because usually it's a neck and neck type thing. But now it's not even a neck and neck. It's like they're considerably better than the Canadians.
Yeah.
And so that right there sparks reaction from Canadians across the country.
There's a good point that came in via the text line, 780-218-9999. Canada could get lucky, this texter says. They only have to win one game versus the USA. And, listen, they're going to mop the floor with the rest of the competition.
Yeah.
Who do they have left? The rescheduled game against Finland in the round robin?
Finland, and then at the quarterfinals and semifinals.
Yeah. And that's true, but recent events would suggest they're going to be in tough.
Yeah, the game wasn't even close, and it was 5-0, and I don't recall Canada having a really good scoring opportunity.
No,
they didn't generate anything. They couldn't get the puck out of their own zone. They were just pressured so hard. Couldn't complete 2 passes in a row. It was total domination. So you go into that one game. I can't see this thing reversing, even with Marie-Philippe Poulin in the lineup. Mm-hmm. She might tilt things a little bit, but. I just, not to the extent and that it's going to make a huge difference, I don't think, because one player is not going to make, when you're dominated that way. Like I said, the game was 5-0. It's lucky it wasn't 8-0.
Yes.
Like it was just that much domination. The Canadian goalie, before she got pulled, made a couple of really good saves. But yeah, but again, we saw this coming. It's those that were paying attention.
There were some indicators.
Yeah, there were indicators there that, this is trouble. And apparently they took the same team that had gotten spanked at the rivalry series to the Olympics.
There was a moment, and I told you about this last night, where our girls had a nice clean breakout, right? They regained possession in their own zone. They had a nice clean breakout. It was nice outlet pass, nice headman up to the winger on the wall. And she came in with a head of steam, cutting across the middle into the offensive zone. Right-handed shot, okay, but she's on her backhand. And she's got a lane, she's got a step on the defender. And instead of taking the initiative and going to the net, Bellsy, button hook at the wall and pass back to the D-man coming in.
Oh, boy.
And I know that's just one instance, but if that is the mentality and how this team is attacking, quote unquote, she could have just gone. Mm-hmm. And I understand you were on your backhand, and I understand you probably want to get on your forehand, but your backhand is also lethal. And I'm wondering, because this is across the board, men's and women's hockey, why is that mentality in players' heads that you have a lane, but you refuse to take it, and you basically concede and then try to hit someone else who's got a head of steam when you already had a head of steam and the step? And that moment to me, I was like, is that coaching or is that the instinct that these players have now?
Skill hockey. Because everybody right now is going into, I don't want to use the name, but like PEP, Power Edge Pro.
Oh,
everybody's using it, and they're working on what used to be coined a tight turn is now coined a jab step or a punch turn, or how do we now be,
Can I just say something? Quicker? That sounds so stupid. So all of you using that sounds stupid.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, whether you're jab stepping, punch turns, tight turning, it's all more or less the same thing. But a lot of it is set up, how PEP does things.
Yeah.
So you're attacking these players and you're attacking these apparatuses, and you're going through it and you're popping through and you're jumping over this thing, and then, you're delaying, because when you get onto the ice and you're doing skill sessions, that looks good. It happens everywhere.
Yeah, but it's not effective.
But Connor does it.
Oh, but Connor does it.
That's the argument. So
awesome.
It's one of these
Nobody else
things
is Connor in the world.
where,
Sorry.
like, from a development standpoint, like you're seeing so many people use apparatuses to help support skill sets.
Yeah.
And it takes kind of the hockey IQ out of it.
Yeah.
And so now, we talked about on Hello Hockey, where like younger players are also, they don't think the game the same way. They don't understand, I've got a lane to the net, or I've got white ice in front of me.
Attack.
Take that, because you can set up other things. So when you get into that conversation, it's partly because of the skill stuff that we teach. That's what it is at the end of the day. And so the development is a bigger issue than people really want to talk about, because there's people everywhere that go, well, we still have the best players in the world. Well, I understand that, but we also have the most players playing hockey. So you're probably going to get the best players. But if you dive down at the grassroots level and you really truly talk about what's going on, and right when I walked in here, I was on the phone with my assistant GM in Tri-City. Guess what we were talking about?
What?
Development of hockey and what's going wrong. So here we are. That's part of the issue.
This pep stuff sounds stupid.
Pep can be really good when you teach certain things, right? So one of the things that I've picked up is like when you're popping a puck through, and you can see Draisaitl do this multiple times in a game. Okay, so he'll expose the puck. A guy will try to go stick on puck, and then he puts it through the triangle, and then he gets a stick over and he shoots it.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
great. What's
the angle in which you're moving that puck? Because that's actually important. So Pep can teach you that stuff. But if you're a guy that's, an instructor for Power Edge Pro and you're teaching this stuff, well, a lot of guys will just say, okay, do this, do this, do this, and do this. But you're not teaching why. Mm-hmm. So if you watch Draisaitl, that puck actually travels on a 45-degree angle. Why? Because if I go stick on puck and it goes straight across, well, it's easy for me to recover with my stick.
Yep.
But if it goes backwards, essentially, it's really hard for me to take this puck or this stick and then come all the way back and defend that. So when you teach that stuff and you understand those pieces of the game, well, then all of a sudden now you're like, oh, okay, I understand why.
Gotcha.
But most people don't teach that. So Power Edge Pro can be really good in certain situations, but if you're not willing to teach those little things and understand why you're doing certain things, well, then what really are you doing? You're just doing circles.
Well, and also, it seems like to me the natural instinct of the game is being taken out. Like, there's no natural instinct of
great point
going to the net, and I noticed like too, it's what like if the game last night was getting out of control and Canada reacted as Canada reacts. They started running around and hitting, and they started taking it out physically. But like I said, the women's game is a little different because there's no body checking allowed, so you can't start running players like you can in the men's game.
Right.
And I think that's when Canada got really frustrated. And I think even more so in the women's game, you have to kind of keep your composure and play the game. I know there's an argument whether there should be body checking or not in women's hockey. That's not my argument. That's for the players to decide. Mm-hmm. Right? It's their game. If they want body checking or not. But yeah, it's. I think that you could just sense that they're getting frustrated, and it was just one of those things that when you're up against a better opponent, sometimes you can kind of level the playing field by
gooning it up
a little bit, but they couldn't do that against that team last night. Yep.
See you in the final, USA. Could be a tough one for our ladies, but we'll see what happens. I'm getting very annoyed by Pep, and because Bellsy, I immediately, like all the stuff you were describing to me, I remember working at hockey school with someone who was not a good hockey player when it came to being a hockey player, but they're a prominent hockey instructor. Mm-hmm. And I remember watching them do these drills, and I was like, wow, you are the best practice player I have ever seen. And then you put that person in a game.
Yeah.
No idea what they're doing. And I'm like, this is who's teaching our next generation of hockey players.
Yeah. What did Pat Quinn call those guys? Morning glories. They look great they look great in practice. They look great in morning skate.
Yeah.
Come in the game, they're lost. But that's what I noticed now is just the instinct is not there. Like everything's being taught, and you're taking the instinct and the flow. And I don't know, maybe that's because, I don't know, maybe kids aren't out. We used to play street hockey all the time. We used to play on the ponds all the time. We used to just go out and play. Mm-hmm. And maybe everything is so structured now.
It is.
You don't have time to go out, throw, remember the old days, you just threw your sticks in the middle. Some guy went and went, they're your teams.
Yep.
Does that even exist anymore?
I hope so.
I think that still exists, but you hit the nail on the head. It's more structured than it's ever been.
Yeah.
At younger levels. Yeah. Like, you get to the structure, you play U18 hockey, you put some structure into it. Okay. That makes sense. At U15, now it's like ultra structured. And so you're just seeing the game become different. Like, Kevin Constantine used to turn his players into robots, and they were all the exact same. And, you play against them, but then you go, okay, well, you did great at this level because you're a robot. But then you got to the next level. What have you done? Yeah. You haven't done anything. So, Pep can be good in certain instances.
I respect
when
that.
you're truly
Yes.
teaching the reason and the rationale as to why you're doing certain things. Why are you setting up a move in this fashion?
Yeah.
And if you have an instructor that can teach that, it can be really, really valuable stuff.
Yeah.
Because I would have never have been like, oh, you gotta move a puck to a 45-degree angle. I never in my head would have been like, okay,
But,
I understand that.
Yeah, and that's a good point. But it's stuff you knew, but it was never verbalized.
No,
to
but
you
these
and
kids now
demonstrated.
need to know why. Like
Right.
before, like DVD said, it's like, oh, you could do this, and do this, and you're like, oh, okay. Now you have to. Guys will go, why am I doing that?
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about it? They want more information. So the kids are different because they want more information to help them process what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
then
that's fine.
And so then when you actually have to try to, teach that skill, that's when you start to realize like there's a lot of intricacies of what you're trying to do. So tacking on the 45, like that, once again, you never would have thought about that, but Power Edge Pro did start talking about that. And now people are like, oh, okay, this makes sense. This is why people, will try that same move that Draisaitl does and not pull it off, but he pulls it off every single time,
Because he's a superstar.
He's a superstar,
Yeah.
but he also understands it.
Right.
And so if you look at players, they're more skilled than ever. They really are.
Yeah.
Truly, yes. The answer is yes to that.
But the hockey IQ side of things, because of that skill stuff where you're going and you're attacking these apparatuses, but guess what? If I'm a player, I might not fall for the move you just threw on that apparatus. So now what's the thinking coming out of that? What's the next thing that we can do? What's option B? What's option C? And you don't see that stuff. And that's where that hockey IQ comes from. Be like, okay, well, it's adaptability to say, okay, well, that play didn't work. What's next?
So you got to blend. You need that.
You got to do a little bit of both. Yeah.
Well, Johnny Boychuk told us that. He's development coach with the New York Islanders, and he's like, you have to help these new players understand the game.
Yeah.
They have the skill, but they don't understand the game. And that example that I just pulled up, and listen, like our Canadian girls were getting their asses kicked last night. And when I can't remember who had it, but when she caught the puck with the head of steam on an outlet pass, and she has a step on the defender, and I know she's on her backhand, but you have a lane to the net, frickin' take it.
Yeah.
Don't pep to the corner or the sidewall and give me a nice tight turn and hit another player coming in with a head of steam. And listen, what happened in that instance is they bumbled it and the puck went back the other way, and that's how bad the game was. But it just, I maybe I went over the top on the pep thing, but I understand. And I go, in my mind, I go, part of what's beautiful about hockey is the chaos. And some of that is unscripted.
Yeah.
And some of that is just instinct and natural ability. And I don't care if you can do an eagle turn. I don't care if you can walk.
They're called Gonchars now, by the way.
Are they called Gonchars now?
Or Mohawks.
Oh, whatever. You know what? It's, again, what are we calling a tight turn? Punch turn?
Yeah, jab step or
Jab step?
punch turn. Yeah.
Guess what? Those terms sound so stupid to all you hockey coaches out there. And I know you're teaching your kids, and I bless you for doing that, but you sound like idiots when you use those terms. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. And she just, I'm like, well, why didn't you go to the net? I know you're on your backhand, but take it. You're bigger than the girl that's defending you. You probably could move it backhand to forehand and chip it in. You could go backhand it in if you have a nice backhand. Teach the backhand, all you pep teachers out there, pep instructors. Backhands are very important. I just get very frustrated. I watch and I teach hockey at hockey schools in the summer, and I listen to some of these guys and girls, and I go, wow, you should not be an instructor. The way you teach hockey is stupid. I'm getting it off my chest. I would like to go.
This is healing. Hey, Tom.
It feels good. I'm not going to lie to you. It feels good because when we do Hello Hockey, we talk about the development of the game, and we have development coaches at all levels. And when we got Johnny Boychuk, who played in the NHL for 15 years, won a Stanley Cup, being like, yeah, guys are super skilled, more skilled than ever, but you have to teach them how to think the game.
Oh, yeah. They have the instincts out there.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Yeah. And you see it on the ice. You see the guys that understand the game and guys that don't.
Yeah.
Know where to be. Like you, and we've all, we've seen it. There's players you have to tell them where to go, and players just that know where to go.
Yes.
right?
Yep.
And then when you start having to tell a player where to go on the ice, and if something changes, and you're like, well, you told me to go here. Yes, but sometimes it changes.
Adapt.
You have to adapt, and the game is not, it's not X's and O's. You have to kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
They used to have a guy, I can't remember his name, in Medicine Hat. Really, really big, strong skater, but not very smart. And basically, it was first was the forward back in the zone, front of the net. Second forward, cover the white one wing. Third, and it was always that.
Yeah.
And he couldn't figure it out because he'd get in the zone, and if there's a guy already at the front of the net, he thought, well, no, I'm supposed to go to the front of the net. And it was just one of those, they had to adjust the entire system because he couldn't figure out where to go if he was the second guy back in the zone or the third guy back in the zone. So they just said, well, let him go to the front of the net and stay there until he gets there and then go. And it was like, what are you guys doing? And the coach pulled me aside and goes, this is the issue. And I'm like,
He's
are you
not
kidding
smart.
me? No, he just doesn't know where to go.
Did the coach say he's a dum-dum?
Well, we had a discussion about him. He's a nice kid.
Yeah.
But he just had well, you told me to go to the front of that. He goes, yeah, because he just had no awareness of whether he was the first or second or third guy back in the zone. He would just put his blinders and go to the front of that.
Yeah.
That's where the coach told me to go. So basically, yeah. So they would be like, okay, if you're the first guy and so shows up behind you, let him get to the front of the net, then you go.
Get out of there. That's so good.
It was like, oh my God, it was hilarious.
Okay, we got to get to some text. Nate the Builder with a couple here says, there's actually nothing wrong with Pep. It actually teaches a fantastic skill set that we never learned, or we only ever learned as kids at the ODR. It must be combined with instincts, and therefore Pep should be a little less formalized, in my opinion, and more focus put on game concepts and value plays, as opposed to all skill all the time. Just an old coach's opinion. I also found
That's what we said.
Yeah, kids viewed the execution of performing pep, toe drag, etc. during a game as equivalent to scoring a goal. Some were happy with just executing that as opposed to burying the puck. To me, that's messed
you're
up.
Right. There is no ODR anymore. Like, how many kids are out there? But I guess there's no time between skating classes and this, course and this. But that's where you learn your skill development. And another thing is, like, I have a nephew. He's 10 years old, so I've seen him come up through the system. And this happens in soccer too. We've seen it in soccer where everyone's like, move the puck, move the puck, move the puck, move the puck. Now you can't. Now defensemen don't know how to carry the puck out of the zone. Like it's you have to move the puck out. But how are you ever going to learn to develop to carry the puck out of the zone to skate your way out of trouble? And you see a lot of guys, the good defensemen skate their way out of trouble. They just, okay, I'm just going to skate past you.
I have ice.
I have ice. I'm skating past you.
Yeah.
But now at the days, if a 10-year-old or a 9-year-old or an 8-year-old tries to skate his way out of trouble and he does come off the puck, then you got the coach saying, you got to move it, you got to move it, you got to move it. But you have to be able to make those mistakes. How are you going to learn? Like now this kid, he's never going to carry the puck out of the zone. Like there's kids that are able to do it. And especially at the offensive end as well, you got kids that will want to take other kids on, but then you got guys, coach, go, no, you got to lay the puck off, or you got to find the open man, or let the kids play. Let them, you're right. Not everything has to be so structured at that young an age. And I remember I covered a minor, when I was in Medicine Hat, I was covering a minor hockey tournament. I can't remember what it was. And they were like 9, 10-year-olds. And I think, I can't remember what team was. I was talking to a coach, and he's talking about, well, the kids are understanding the system. And I'm like, system?
Awesome.
They're 9 years old. Like, let them go play. And I think it's just being, sometimes the skill is getting, sometimes, not all the time, is getting coached out of the game. Let the kid play. Let the kid make a mistake. And I think that's the biggest thing, too, is that kids are afraid to make mistakes. And you can't play with that fear of making a mistake. You got to be able to play. You got to be able to go out there, especially at a young age. Does it really matter? Like, I think in results-based, at 10 years old, 9 years old, it doesn't matter. Like, in 10 years, those kids aren't going to remember if they won a 5-4 in a U9 game. Like,
Well,
it's just,
when you bench kids and you shorten your bench and you only have 9 forwards at the brick tournament, and you
These
go
are
down,
nine-year-olds.
and you go down to 6 forwards, I think that probably tells you everything you need to know about where we're at.
yeah.
That's a problem. That's
It's
not
a
right.
ridiculous problem. So the amount of times I go to this brick tournament, and I love the brick tournament. I
You played
in
on
it.
one of the first.
It was awesome. I love that tournament because I like watching these kids and how much skill they have.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But at the exact same time, I'm watching this game and I'm watching teams shorten the bench. Pardon me?
At 9 years old.
Aren't you the best players in your area? Like, it doesn't Team Brick go out of its way to, like, they're not Edmonton based anymore. They're Alberta based.
Are they really?
Oh yeah, they go all over.
So you
They
got
got
the
these little
9
camps all
best
over the
forwards.
province.
Oh my God. That's embarrassing.
So you got the best 9 forwards in all of Alberta, and at some point you're going to go down to 6.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like, guys, come on, they're 10.
Who was it? There was an NHLer in town a couple months ago. I can't remember who it was offhand, but he played in the brick tournament, and he was back in town, and we were talking about the brick tournament, and I think he played for a team in Toronto, and he was kind of laughing about it. He's like, "Oh, I had a great time, because they take good care of the kids at that tournament.
Yeah, it's amazing.
They
It's a
get to
great
go to the
tournament.
water park. They get to go to the and then." I remember he said, "Yeah, well, the night before a big game, my dad wouldn't let me go to the water park. He wouldn't let me go swimming because he says I had to save my legs for the final." And he goes, "I was 10 years old, really? Save my legs?" Like, and you're seeing a lot of that. I've heard a lot of that teams will go out of town tournaments, 10, 11-year-olds, and they're not allowed to go in the pool. And that's the whole point of going out of town tournament.
That was the best part, going to the water slides
going
at
to
the
water
crappy
slide in the
hotel
pool.
you stayed at.
But their coaches are telling them, don't go in the pool because you got to save your legs. They're 10 years old, man. Like
They got lots of juice
they got,
in the
they
tank.
can, we used to play in the street hockey for 5-6 hours a day. Like these guys can go, like save your legs. He thought it was hilarious. Like, I'm 10 years old and I'm being told to save my legs. But I hear that now. I hear coaches, saying, kids, you're not allowed in the pool.
Well,
That to me, that's ridiculous. If I was a parent and the coach said, kid's not allowed in the pool, I was like, yeah, no. We paid a lot of money. We came here. There's the pool. My kid's going in the pool. Like,
that's so stupid.
it's ridiculous now. Like, but it's, there's too much emphasis on winning at too young levels, I think, in my opinion. And you're right. They should be shortening up bench at under 10 tournaments.
It makes me think. I have some buddies who are now like AA and AAA coaches that they were okay players, right? Like, they were high level players, but you see them now and I'm like, how did anybody let you guys coach a AAA team? You guys are meatheads. And to me, like, when I hear that DVD, I feel like they would be like, oh yeah, you guys can't go on the water slides today because you need to be saving yourselves for tomorrow's game. It's like,
Exactly.
do you listen to yourself?
Yeah. One of my pet peeves when I go to minor rinks and let's say go watch my nephew play is when they got the 10-year-olds dressed in suits so they can look professional before the game.
I kind of like that.
I don't like that. I'm like, you're 10 years
that's
old.
That's unnecessary.
That is completely unnecessary.
yeah.
Put them in their team jackets and let's go.
Yeah.
Like, and I tell people, there's no dress code in the NHL. Like, guys can wear whatever the hell they want.
I try to tell my guys that. I give them the option. I'm like, guys, like, you can wear suits, you can be business casual. Like, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Suits. Okay.
I respect that. Give them the option.
That's for them. Like, for me,
done.
when I played, I liked wearing suits, but there was times I hated it.
Yeah.
The times when I was on the bus.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I'm going to drive from Tri-City to Seattle, which is 4 hours.
Yeah.
Nobody's seeing me. I'm sleeping. I'm going to get up 20 minutes before, and I'm going to now be in the middle of a bus while I was ripping down the I-95. Right?
Yeah.
And I got to now change in my suit with 20 other guys down this aisle too, changing at the exact same time to stop the bus inside the arena, to unload the bags, to go right to our room to undress made no sense to me.
Right.
That's not very smart.
Good point. No. And that's understandable. But
we see that on the plane too, right? Guys, they got their casual gear on the plane. And they're all getting changed and suited up before they walk off the plane. But I don't know. I just mean that, like, I have certain pet peeves when it comes to, like, I'm not a coach and I know the time those guys put in. I understand that, it's a thankless job.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because you got 20 parents in the stands going, well, I could do it better. Well, then go ahead, go do it better.
No, they can't. Trust me.
That's one thing I do agree with. Like, minor hockey coaches, whether you're in academies, whether you're in, AEHL or whatever that looks like, you're putting a lot of time and effort into what you're doing. So I understand a lot of some of the stuff that happens with it. But, like, at certain levels,
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, let's just be a little bit smarter than what we're doing. And we do. We chase this almighty dub.
Yeah.
And, I get winning. Winning is fun. It provides a great feeling.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, if you're a U11 coach and you don't win that game in October,
Yeah.
does it really matter throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah.
Was there a lesson that we could have taught in that game in October where you're like, hey, we're going to lose this game because, hey, here's something that we can now teach. Guys, we decided to take our foot off the gas. We stopped skating. We allowed them to play. Like, is there something you could teach your kids so that by the time you get to playoff time, that now becomes a lesson? But we want to chase that victory in October, but it doesn't really do anything, and it doesn't allow us to teach our kids.
Yeah.
And so for me, yeah, hey, thankless job. You guys are doing your thing, and you're putting that time in, and we thank you for that. But at the same time, like, you're not going to now coach U13 because somebody in an organization was like, man, that victory in October, God damn, you pulled it out.
You won that game
Like, that
on
doesn't
Saturday
happen.
at 8 a.m.
What happens is you get judged, and for my level, U18, we get judged from, teams in junior A, major junior, and they go, how many players did you develop? How many guys have you turned your organization into a pipeline? If you have, we want you as a coach. That's how guys move up from U18, even U17, 15 for that matter.
Yeah.
So yes, winning is great. It is. Going, winless isn't great, but there's things that we have to teach kids so that they can now be prepared for the next level as well.
Yeah. No, for sure.
All right, I got a text from T-Mac, the rugby guy. What's up, T-Mac? Shout out to T-Mac. I'm going to a little show thanks to him with Mooner in March.
T-Mac, what show? A wrestling show?
Black Label Society.
Oh, okay.
No, at Midway. T-Mac, the rugby guy, says, I coach high school rugby, and kids now want to know why they're doing things rather than just do it. And I understand that mentality, and I understand like the desire to know why you're doing something. In the case of hockey, and listen, I'm dumping on Pep because that's what I've been doing today because I think it's a stupid name or whatever, stupid terms that they use. There's, and I'll say it, like there's value in teaching this skill, and the kids now, men, women, boys, girls, super skilled, best hockey players that have ever been developed. But why are you doing something? Ultimately is to score a goal and win the game. And it feels like that has been lost. Like, why am I doing this?
Jab step.
Why am I doing a jab step? Well, probably to create separation and give yourself a lane and then find a way to attack the net. Oh, but that should be the underlying knowledge.
Yeah.
Everything you're doing is to give you an opportunity to score and attack or defend well, ultimately to win the game, to be better than your opponent. If that's being lost, then what are we doing? What are we doing? We're teaching toe drags, toeies, and mohawks and gonchars? Oh, did you see my gonchar, bro? No. Because you got burned and it went back the other way and you got scored on, you dumbass.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's what we're seeing now.
You look like an asshole
Yeah.
doing your gonchar and getting burned. Like, Jesus Christ. I'm getting so annoyed. I hate that kind of stuff.
But it's always like it's a different mentality of player, and it's always going to change. It's always a different mentality from going from yes or no, sir, I'll do what you tell me.
Yeah.
To, why do I have to do this? It's just different. I think
it's okay to ask that and to understand and to okay, like knowledge is power, information is key. Use it.
Yeah.
Or how and in sport, well, why are you doing anything in any sport you play? To win, to be better than your opponent. Not, like the fun part is lovely. That's good. Teamwork, camaraderie. I love that. But I want to beat you. I want to show you that I'm better than you because I'm better. And that should always be the key.
Yeah.
But Belzy's right. Like if you're coaching a team of 13-year-olds and you're trying to win a game in October, it's like, no, you're trying to make them better.
Well,
to be better players, to have that thirst and hunger to win.
Yeah. To me, I remember talking to, one of the coaches from my nephew's team last year. And he's like, well, what do you think? And I was like, well, the kids were noticeably better at the end of the season than they were at the beginning of the season.
That's the
and
most
that's the whole
important thing.
point. And so you guys did a good job in the sense that, the kids, they learned how to break the puck out. They learned how to attack at different angles. They learned different things. They learned how to cover for each other. So, you guys, they were much better. You took these raw kids at the beginning of the year and you turned them into a pretty good team at the end of the year where they knew what to do in certain situations. So that is, to me, that's the measure, is how much a kid improves throughout the year. Not how many wins yet.
I have openly said to my team on the bench, after we have let our foot off the gas, I have said, I hope we lose this game. And they always look at me like, did you just say that? And then I walk into the room after and I said, yeah, so what did we learn?
Yeah.
And they go, we always have to play hard. I said, yeah. Like, let's just start there.
Yeah.
Like, that's the very first thing that we should do.
Please give me effort.
Give me effort and give me a little bit of energy.
Show me you care.
So when you decide, okay, well, in that game in October, and sure, I probably don't need to go out and be like, hey, I hope we lose this game very often. I shouldn't probably say that. But in that game in October, at the end of the year, if we're in playoffs, and I say, whatever, we get that win because I decided to shorten my bench and we get that win, my guys haven't learned anything.
Right.
So then it's the understanding of, okay, well, why did we take our foot off the gas? Was there something in the game that changed it? Was the other team being more physical? Were we up by 4 or 5 goals? What happened in that game for us to now to lose our edge, to basically turn off the ignition and allow somebody else to get back in the game? Yeah. Okay, so can we now start the engine back up again and get going? Because we've given that team some leeway. Mm-hmm. So like having those conversations, it's like they're important because you're teaching them something. And so like it happened in our last game, and we've had multiple times this year where we've just pulled the key right out of the ignition. So we play our last game, we had a great first period, dominating the team. The second period, we were awful.
Yeah.
And they scored 3, and by the end of the second period, it was 3-1. And like we were not even remotely in the conversation. So I wrote down all the stuff that I thought we were doing wrong, and I walked in the board, put the board in the room.
I've seen you use that board on the bench.
I walked out. I didn't have to say anything to my team because they already know and they've already had that conversation. We scored 6 in the third, and the game completely tilted. Now, I'm not saying like, the tactic and the coaching was the right one, but it was the fact that we've already experienced this. Mm-hmm. We've already had this conversation. Guys, here's what you did wrong. Here's why you guys are now in this predicament. Here we're at it again. So now change it, fix it. We've already learned from this situation. And so now as we go into playoffs, okay, we got to keep playing. Isn't that what we're trying to do? Because now we just got better because we learned from a situation that happens every single year, every single day across any kind of league.
Yeah.
It's a lesson to be learned for kids.
If they pick up on the lesson, that's all that matters. Portions of this hour are brought to you by the Hive Product Marketing. The Hive Product Marketing. Go visit Chelsea and Brett. Chelsea is excellent products that bring the buzz. TheHiveProductMarketing.com. If your company needs apparel or anything, they take care of you. Of course, official supplier of EST apparel as well. Gazzola, Belle, and Van Diest with you on the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage. You can text us 780-218-9999. Jump into the nasty chat as well. Basically, I've been complaining about coaching hockey, and then it all started with the loss to the Americans on our ladies' side yesterday. The men get going tomorrow. Of course, the men's tournament underway right now. Finland was leading Slovakia 1-0 at the intermission. Okay, I'm going to read this text. It comes in and says, Tommy nailed it with the comment, quote, best practice player ever, unquote. This is why you see kids on the AAA team asking yourself how they got there. They look lost when it comes to the game. Kids need more imagination, etc. Yeah, I feel like that's an element that has been lost, that natural, like there's a 4x6 at that end. My job is to put this little thing, the disc, into that and to not let it go into this end. That's the bare bones principle of the game.
Coach wants me to chase puck, I chase puck.
Yeah. Now, whether you do a, what are the,
Punch turn.
punch turn
Jab step.
or a mohawk or gonchar, I don't frickin' care.
Chase puck.
Chase.
Tommy wants me to chase puck.
Yeah.
I go chase puck.
Big Dave texting in says, would it be an oversimplification to say in the last 10 years, hockey development has become more about skill plays and highlights than instinctual fundamental hockey?
Yes.
Is this a symptom of the McDavid era and everyone wanting to be like that instead of learning base level hockey and building on that? You can speak to
Not
that.
McDavid era, but social media era. Because every time you turn on social media, you see a highlight. And it's not just McDavid, it's McKinnon, it's McCarr, it's Kucherov. And so all these kids want to emulate that. And so, yeah, you see it's highlight reels.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for.
Right.
So
We were talking about that too. Like, why don't kids want to be goalies? Because you don't
you never
see
see
saves
them.
anymore.
you see them getting lit up all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that in my life.
Right.
That's right. That's why Canada has a goaltending issue. Yeah, no kids don't want to play goal anymore.
Man.
Yeah. I could be like McDavid, you mean? Or I could be getting torched?
No.
Thank you.
McDavid and McKinnon are very special. And we need to understand that there is like an elite level that is essentially untouchable and you don't get there. Like 99.99% of kids.
Like, being a goalie would suck right now.
Absolutely.
Because the way that they're taught to play the reverse VH, so you're going down, right? You leave a hole this big, and guys are shooting it off your face and in the net.
That's how skilled these kids are now.
That's my point. It's
And
like that's how skilled they are. But
Yeah.
at the same time, from a goalie standpoint, like you've never got hit in the head more than you do now.
Yeah, you know.
And guys are purposely doing it. Before,
Guess
it was like,
what?
my bad,
It
dude,
works.
I didn't have any aim on that one. But now it's like, oh, your head's there. I can put it off this and it's going to go in the net. I'm
Hell
going to
yeah.
rip it off your face.
You know.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's an easy thing to solve, though. As soon as the puck
Stand
hits,
up?
Well, no. As soon as the puck hits the goalie in the mask, blow the whistle. They do that in international hockey.
I don't like that.
No.
Why are you wearing a helmet then?
Well,
Why these masks are like engineered
I get that.
so well.
It's still,
They're not engineered for a 100-mile-an-hour shot.
Well, I don't know if
that
anything
thing
is.
blows off your
Yeah.
head, and you're like, man, I'm woozy right now because I just took one off the dome.
I remember talking
No.
to Stuart Skinner about that. He didn't know that rule. I was like, yeah, international hockey, you sit that the puck hits in your head, they blow the whistle.
Yeah, they do. I still don't like that. I think it's fair game.
Well, if a player got hit in the head with a puck, they'd blow the whistle.
I'm very cruel when it comes to
But I'm
hockey,
just saying,
as you
right?
can
If
probably
I
tell.
rim the puck around the boards and it hits some guy in the head, they'd blow the whistle right away.
Well, if it hits his helmet, I think you just play on.
love it.
Just go ahead.
Yeah.
Brandon from Windsor, Texas, says, haha, I tell the coach my kid is going swimming. And then your kid will be stapled to the bench. Minor hockey politics. Yeah, there's a lot
That's
of
the
problems.
problem.
Yeah,
like,
that is
but
the
if,
problem.
but if one parent says my kid is going swimming, yeah. But if all parents say no, our kids are going swimming, they're going swimming.
They're going let the kids be kids.
Be kids. And that's the thing is like they're not little hockey. They're 9-year-olds. Let them go be 9-year-olds. Like it's
Oh,
just
man.
that's the one. Like I know, like I've heard that now. The parents aren't going or the coaches don't. No one goes in the pool.
That's insane.
That's ridiculous.
DVD, there was a kid. Go ahead.
Sorry, the San Jose Sharks put out a video. I think it was the Sharks about 5-6 years ago, kind of mocking that a little bit when the coach was saying, "You know, don't do this, don't do this, don't go in the pool," and remember all the players are jumping in the
Did they?
pool.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a different lifestyle, different time, but yeah, kid's not going to lose his legs if he goes in the pool. He's going to have more fun. He's going to enjoy the end of the game. This has to be enjoyment. Like they're out there having. It's fun.
Hockey's fun.
Fun to be with
It's
your
a fun
friends, fun to
sport.
hang out with. You know, it's like these guys, most of these kids aren't, a lot of these kids aren't going anywhere. They're just having fun, especially at the younger ages. Keep the game fun and the kid will stay in hockey longer. Once the game is no longer fun, they won't want to play.
I think that's actually Hockey Canada's like motto, isn't it? We're trying to keep kids in the game as long as we possibly can.
Okay, but why do they have to play 12 months a year then?
Well, that's a great question. No, those are different conversations.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, yeah, if you're 9 years old, well, guess what?
Well, it's
Go
funny
full-time.
because you talk about that and like it's in all sports. Then you get the coaches saying, "Well, they're gonna fall behind if they don't do this, if they don't do this, if they don't do this."
Shut
I'm like,
up. If that's what the coach is saying.
Quality
get
is always
lost.
better than quantity at the end of the day
Yeah.
when it comes to what you're doing. So if you know, if you're on the ice and you feel like you got to go every single day, but the quality of the work that you're doing isn't great,
Yeah.
right? Like, so if I go shoot pucks every single day, I'm going to get better because I'm shooting pucks every day. But if I go in there and I don't really shoot it, like I kind of half-ass my shot, well, sure, my accuracy might get a little bit better because I shoot 100 pucks a day. But if I'm going in there and I have quality where, you know, every second day I go and shoot 100 pucks, but I'm going bar down as hard as I possibly can, well, guess what? Your shot's going to get better and it's going to be more accurate. Or if I'm going in to try to get it off as quickly as I possibly can, because you know in game situations, hey, there's a defender closing in on me, I get a pass from the corner, and I got to get that thing on and off my stick. Well, you're probably going to develop into a better goal scorer because you're practicing that every single day. You're not just going through the motions, which happens lots, because you're just, hey, I got to keep up with the Joneses. Well, guess what? Quality is always going to be better than just going out and doing it half-assed.
Yeah. Cass uses a great term. Matt Cassian, our game analyst on the pre and post game show, Two Guys and a Goalie. Intentionality.
100%.
If you're doing it with intention, it's 100% better than just doing it, like going through the motions. It reminds me of this. There's this, two things, and it goes back to the hockey school. I remember 3 summers ago being down in Phoenix at the Ice Den, and we get to the rink at like 7 a.m. The kids are there by 7:30. They're on the ice by 8. And I remember like getting set up in the coach's room, walking down the hallway as the kids were walking in. Remember one of the kids, 8 or 9 years old, with their wheelie bag, like schlepping their bag, and they look sad. I'm like, "What's up, buddy? Like, you ready to go for today?" "No, I'm tired." I was like, "Oh, why? Did you you just didn't sleep well?" He goes, "No, I was on the ice like after camp yesterday. I had practice, and then I had to go to my skills coach training, and I didn't get home till like 9, and I'm on the ice again." And I was like, "How many days are you on the ice?" He's like, "Every day. My parents make me go on the ice every day." And you could, like, he's walking, and you know when they get into that, "I don't want to be here." And I was like, "Oh my God, you're sucking the joy out of the game for this kid."
Yep.
And I'm like, this camp is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to get better. You're supposed to learn. It's to get you ready for the next season. And you're on the ice like 6 hours a day in August. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, that's the problem.
And then there's one of the moms there. I still talk to her. She, like, very involved with her kid. Wants her kid to become a good hockey player. But Bellsy and DVD, don't laugh at me. I saw that look. This kid is not getting. This kid is not getting better.
Oh,
and he's on the ice every frickin' day. And he's playing travel hockey. He's 11 years old, and you can see like he does the hockey treadmill. He goes to a skills coach. He's on the ice every day. He's traveling he's on a traveling team, and I'm like, this kid his skating still sucks. His reads are bad. Like, he's not learning the game, but he's on the ice every day. He should be becoming a better hockey player, but he's just out there going through the motions. Like you said, shooting pucks with no intention. This is that kid. And she's going, "Well, I hope he becomes a good player and can go play junior." I'm like, he's 7 years away from playing junior. If he even gets good enough. It just looks like he's playing hockey to appease mom.
It's got to be in the kid. I'm pretty sure a lot of kids are. Like, a lot of kids are you're putting this and this and this and this. But, you know, if the kid isn't spending time on his own without direction in the backyard working on something, then that's the love of the game. Like, you know, it's not always about being at the rink or doing this. It's if he comes home straight from the rink, drops his stuff off, and goes straight to play video games for the next 4 hours, you know, it's not inherent. Like, it's like I said, it's a different generation. I get that, but if you love the game, you love the game. Like, if you know, you talk about, you know, basketball, they talk about this kid never left the gym. Like, right?
Yeah.
It's just like you just love the game, like working on it. So, Yeah, so if you have this great net and whatever set up in the backyard and your kid's not going, or you have to make him go, then
Yeah.
you know he's got to love it. You can't try and push him into.
Yeah.
You should really like hockey. You got to really like hockey.
Do you have meetings?
No.
You don't?
Why would I have meetings?
Well, I mean, I'm just curious. Like, you still talk to her, and are you like guidance?
No. Shut up.
Get together.
It's not like that, okay?
Yeah, okay.
It's
Sorry,
not like that.
Sorry, my bad.
Oh my God. I saw you guys look.
How dare I think of that way?
Yeah.
Big Maple Bets MMA has a quick question.
Okay.
Boom, boom. You have any good stories about Christoph Kreutzer? Every time the Olympics come around, I go on a deep dive into players' history, and I saw a picture of you and him on Getty Images. So I got to ask quickly, like, is Christoph Kreutzer the coach of the Olympic team for Germany?
I have no
Or
idea.
is he an assistant?
I'm not sure if he's head coach or not.
Now, it doesn't really matter, but at the end of the day, yes, I do have stories about Christoph Kreutzer because he coached me when I was in Dusseldorf.
Tell me more.
He was the type of coach that I don't know how much he actually knew at that particular time because he was new to coaching. And so it was always, boys, we're man on man, D-zone, man on man. You know, you just stick with your man. It's easy. And you're like, okay, Christoph, have you ever played man on Olympic-sized ice? It's not that easy, actually.
A lot of
man.
room out
So
there.
if you lose your guy, like that guy's got a straight lane to the net. So we're in the semifinals and we're playing against Ingolstadt. And so this play plays out and I end up getting a breakaway. And I score on the breakaway, come back to the bench, and he's like, how did you get a breakaway? I said, well, it's man on man. It's easy. And he like looks at me and he just laughs and he walks back down the bench. But he goes back in the video and he watches and I'm like literally following my man. Turnover happens. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go. And I get the puck and I go in for my breakaway. And he's like, boys, just like Belle. It's man on man. It's easy. Like, this is a coach like of a pro team in Germany. So he was very fresh at the time as a coach, but he's grown a lot since. But yeah,
So
Christoph Kreutzer is a funny human being.
So he's coaching the German team right now at the
I
Olympics.
guess so, but yeah.
Who set that in?
Big Maple Bets, MMA.
Maple. That's a deep dive.
That is a very deep dive.
good
Christoph
dig.
Kreutzer is a funny human being.
Good dig. All right. Hour number 2 of the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage. Tom Gazzola, Shawn, Belle, and Derek Van Diest with you. You could text us 780-218-9999. Portions of this hour brought to you by Hammer Injury Law. Accident injury law, serious injury, and fatality claims. Get a hold of them. Visit them at hammerinjurylaw.ca. They have free consultations, over 35 years of experience. Richard J. Mallet. Check them out, and we appreciate them hopping on board with us here on the EST Hangout. I have a few texts. Like, me venting has... I appreciate the texts that have come in. This one says, Tommy, when my son was in U9, we had sessions paid by the association where they were teaching the kids toe drags. I was slowly losing my mind watching it. Then the dude screamed at them after every drill. Good times.
Yeah.
Oh, God. This one says, that's why I love junior hockey, the chaos and unpredictability. Yeah, like part of hockey is how unpredictable it can be.
Yep.
Momentum, small instances that turn into big moments. Deaky Spark says, parents aren't going to get their ROI on investment. They do put a lot of money into it.
Oh, yeah.
They put a lot of money into it. This one says fatigue and burnout is real. Being on the ice every day isn't for all kids. Some need time to reset and recharge. And then this one says, I experienced that hockey burnout when I was younger. I was in hockey academy at Mount Carmel for junior high and Louis Saint Laurent for high school while playing club hockey with Southside Athletic Club. Going dryland training as well, I basically just began to experience burnout and ultimately lost my love for the game. I could have probably played high-level junior hockey, but ultimately opted to play junior C, which I ended up loving as I was with friends, which reignited my love for the game. Yeah,
that's the whole point. Like, especially at the younger levels, they just want to be with their buddies. Like, they're just, you know. So, and I think like, and now it's funny because I'm not a parent, but I tell them how to raise their kids. That's what as kids but I think as a parent, you have to take a good look at your kid and you have to evaluate, okay, where is he at? Where is he going to go to? You know, and you look at the great players, like, did McDavid's dad force him to do all these things? No, he was just naturally, like, McKinnon's dad, like, they just were
They're hockey
kids that they're
nerds.
hockey. They were out there loving everything about the game. The parents we just have to get out of their way, right?
Yeah.
And try and help them out as much as we can. So, you know, it's still, you see the parents, you know, if I had that push, maybe I could have made it. So I'm going to push you. I'm like, you know, so it's, like I said, I cringe sometimes going to see my nephew's games. And early on, I remember there were 6-year-olds, they were playing half ice and there's parents screaming at their kids from the stands, and you'd look up at the kids looking for like admiration, like, oh, am I doing it right, Dad? I'm like, that kid's not going to play more than 3 years of hockey because he's not playing for himself, he's playing for you. Like, and you try to explain that, and you've seen it happen, and it just happens. Shut up, let him go play, let him go make mistakes, let him fall down, let him
Shut up and let them play.
let him play, like, you know. So.
Nate the Builder says, I just spit my water out at the gym. Tommy mad. That was great. Thank you, Nate. I just felt like getting that off my... But you're right. Like, shut up.
Yeah, let him play.
Let the freaking kid play hockey.
Like
It's a great game.
yelling instructions. Yelling instructions from the stands, not a good thing. Your kid knows. Let the coach yell the instructions. You don't need to yell the instructions. And it's always like skate, shoot, pass, go to the net. Like, like these are all very simple things. But I'm sure if he hears it from you, that's what the coaches are for. Let the coaches coach.
It's a blessing and a curse how many hockey bros live in Canada, in our province, in our city. Just shut up and let them coach.
What's worse? That or, and I'm not the biggest fan of referees.
Same.
I think they have a place in the game, but I'm not going to sit here, do backflips and be like, man, I love these guys. Because it's not true. I get along
You
with a
get
bunch
kicked
of them.
out of the game last week?
No, I didn't actually.
Okay.
I'm friends with a lot of them. Guys that I used to train are refs. I got time for guys.
Yep.
But when we're in a game, anyway, what's worse? The parents that are up in the stands screaming at their kid to skate or whatever, or shoot, blah, 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 or they're, yelling at other kids to pass. Or when the parents are going in there and they're absolutely giving it to the refs in the stands.
Those are equally as bad.
I don't think it's worse to the refs. There's a shortage of refs in this country for a reason. Not just in hockey, but in all sports. Because I've been there. I'm a soccer referee. I got a ref tonight, by the way. And it's one of those
Good for
things like
you.
you're going to make mistakes. Like let's give you an example.
Okay.
Let's say I'm the father of the ref and you're giving it to the ref because the ref made a mistake. What if I gave it to your kid for turning the puck over? What if I gave it to your kid for not marking his guy in front of the net and the guy scoring? What if I gave it to your kid for making mistakes? You'd look at me going, what the hell is wrong with you?
Absolutely.
Right? What
Absolutely.
are you doing? Why are you yelling at my kid, because he's making mistakes? But it's okay for you to yell at someone else's kid for making a mistake.
Reffing the game.
Ref in the game. And a young kid's going to make mistakes. You got to let them make mistakes, because refereeing afraid to make a mistake is just as bad as playing afraid to make a mistake.
Yep.
I got experience too. Like I'm an experienced guy. I'm at the point where I referee with some younger referees, try and kind of mentor them a little bit. I have zero tolerance for beaking from the bench. Zero. And I don't know if
You have to tell a story about how you kicked that one coach out.
I've kicked a lot of coaches out.
I know, but
right? I've
We
kicked
would
a
have
lot of
so
coaches
much
out.
fun TV.
Well, you know what I would say? Belzy? You know what I say to coaches? And I said this last week to a coach. I said, buddy, you're the only one we don't need to play the game. We could play the game with you watching from the bar. You're the only guy we don't need.
yeah,
So I have no qualms throwing you out.
get out.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we don't need you.
Yeah.
I'm probably doing your team a favor, to be honest. I'm not going to say that, but we don't need you. And that quiets them up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, like, you can't, you're talking about, as developing players, you develop players, you got to allow them to make mistakes. That's the only way they're going to get better. But referees have to be perfect? Yeah, they're gonna miss an offside.
course.
They're gonna miss a holding or a hook. Yeah, they're gonna miss, and that's where you hope at the higher levels, then they miss less calls. But that's the great story. Like I heard when I was like, if I was in the stands and I'm yelling at your kid for screwing up, but you think that you're allowed to yell at the referee, someone else's kid for screwing up, right? There'd be a massive fight in the stand.
Of course.
Right.
I hate refs. We all know this, but you need them, and there needs to be a certain level of respect for them. My favorite refs, not that I really like them, are the ones that were willing to give it back to you.
Well, the ones that talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones that'll talk to you are the ones that are good. And,
Yeah.
and at this point, I try not to yell as much anymore because like there's things that obviously frustrate me because.
But you're not yelling at an 18-year-old kid.
No, I'm not. But I'm going to chirp that 18-year-old kid. So, like the other day, the guy missed a couple icings and he missed whatever. And I'm like, hey, coffee's free. Skates away. I don't think he understood that. And I look at my buddy who's reffing and I'm like, is he okay? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, he's not very good today. And he just starts laughing, skates the other way. And then there was a one ref, the other bench was like losing it. And I don't like the coaches that lose it off of literally everything.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, if I'm going to start giving it to the ref, it's usually because of a player safety thing. But this other coach was losing it on this one ref who I got a lot of time for. And because I think things are funny now and I just start chirping away, I'm like, hey, you don't have to take that from him. Don't have to take it from him. I would never do that to you. I've known you for 5 years. I would never do that to you.
Yeah.
Don't take it.
Yeah.
And he just like looks at me. He's like, shut up.
I appreciate that.
No, the thing is like, I was terrible to the refs. I admit, I was terrible to
Same.
the refs. But the ones that I respected the most is the one that said to me, "Listen, this is what I saw. This is what I called."
Yeah.
Right. And then you're like 9 out of 10 times they're okay. But the ones that wave you away, those are the ones that
Yeah.
The a-holes.
Yeah.
The ones that have that arrogance about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I get that. And it's funny because I've done some games with some higher level referees.
Yeah.
And I get that sense about them. Like, how dare you question my call? I was just explain what you called to the guy. Like, it takes 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Well, I'm not going to explain every call. I was like, well, just explain. Like, they want every now and then a guy goes, well, what was the foul for? It just said, this is what I saw.
Yeah.
And they walk away. Right? But
That one.
I've had some epic confrontations with coaches.
I like your stories.
So the one my attitude is this. Listen, if your coach is chirping from the bench, then your players are going to feel like, hey, I can chirp as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And a coach should be a reflection of his team. And I said, listen, buddy, I said to this one guy, you need to be a better example for your players in front of him, in front of the entire bench.
Ouch.
You need to set a better example of your players. You're supposed to be a role model here. You start acting like one. And he didn't like, I didn't like the way you dressed me down in front of my team like that. I'm like, well, you're yelling at the referee in front of it. Like, you have no problem yelling at a referee.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why I dressed you down. Like, I wasn't even on the field. I was on the bench. Like, I was indoor soccer, you have one referee on the field and one in the bench, right? So I'm supposed to manage the benches.
Okay.
And if you're yelling at my young referee, I'm like, so yeah, you're gonna make mistakes. And you kind of understand that now. And at the higher levels, they should be a lot better.
Yeah.
I get that. But yeah, I can understand the frustration when a referee just kind of waves people away. And
That one's quite annoying.
yeah,
And
that is annoying. Like, explain to me what you saw, what you did, and
My favorite refs, especially like when you get to like junior stuff, you see them all the time, right? You see the same group of them, right?
Yeah.
I remember one of them, I took a shot and got gloved by the goalie. He's like, wow, Tom, my 7-year-old could have saved that shot. I'm like,
I get a kick out of that stuff. Like,
I
to
like
me,
that
it's-
stuff.
Yeah, to me, it's
Have a
really
relationship.
funny.
You're in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I still,
Like, or if you try to sneak in line changes off icings, and they go, I know what you're doing, and then we laugh about it. Like, that stuff to me is funny because
you still send
once
them
again,
out.
we're in minor hockey.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't that deep.
right.
And so I try to have fun like that, but there's times where like there's some refs. I've been kicked out of one game in probably the last 4 years, and I've kind of put a rule with my group that if you get kicked out in a game, you owe the entire organization a $500 pizza party because they don't want you to get kicked out. Like
Right.
I think that I think getting kicked out of the game is like as a coach because you know the line. Especially if you're like a former player, you know where the line is. Of
course,
you know
should.
when you can see that guy starting to get to his boiling point. Tone it down from there. So we go $500 pizza party, and I remember the one time it was at Christmas time, and my player got absolutely blown up, but it was just a straight shot to the head, and so we had this ref, honestly, like a week before, and the game turned into a gong show.
Yeah.
So I remembered that, and he called the play, and I remember looking up at the scoreboard, and there was a 2 on there. And once again, I only get mad for player safety, but like my guy's head is like it's bleeding from his nose. He's got a cage on, so how are you bleeding from your nose? Well, that's how hard of a headshot it was.
That's not good.
So in this referee's defense, he had called a 5, but I hadn't seen the 5 because on the board it said 2, and I was like. From the bench, I'm like, player safety, that's a straight shot to the head. And then, I'm getting upset. And so then he comes over and he goes, down. And I'm like, first of all, don't snap your fingers at me. Exactly. Not where I'm at right now mentally. I said, I'm good. I don't want to talk because I'm pissed. And he goes, no, you're going to have the conversation. I said, honestly, man, I don't want to have this conversation. So he goes, get down. Okay, if that's what you want. He goes, what do you want? I said, well, I want that to be a 5-minute check to the head because that's what it is. Once again, in his defense, he'd called a 5, but there's 2 on the board. So I look up, and as I look up, 2 comes off, 5 goes up. And he goes, well, maybe you need to get your eyes checked. Okay, here we go. Yeah. And so I started giving it to him a little bit.
Yeah.
And he starts skating away. I'm like, you're a coward. Because he started skating away. Turns around, out. $500 pizza party. Damn.
Nice.
Well, as a referee, you're supposed to de-escalate the situation, and I've seen a lot of them escalate the situation. Like, you want to try, like you talk about keeping your composure. Yes, as a referee, you're going to take some flack. Not,
of course.
Every call you make, half the people aren't going to like it. Right? Even if it's obvious, direct, whatever, they're not going to like it. You got to be able to take a little bit of flack. But you want to de-escalate the situation, right? Yeah. Like it's that simple. It's and I've seen it. And like I said, I've had issues before where you can kind of sense I'm in the box, and you're like, this game's gonna get out of control because he let one thing go there, so then he's got to let it go there. And then he's gonna have to let it go there. Like once you let one thing go, and then you're like, well, you didn't call that a foul, or you didn't call that a foul, you didn't call that a penalty, you didn't call that a penalty. Where's your standard, right? And that's all. That's all players want to know is like, where is the standard? Like, where's the line? Why is it a penalty? What's not a penalty? You know. And I get it. Everyone's kind of seeing it with blinders. Last night. Or the Canada game, we were looking at the replays like, that girl drew 4 penalties. They were penalties. They were penalties. And I know Canada was frustrated. The coach was frustrated.
Cassie Campbell was upset.
Everyone's like, oh, she's diving and flopping. I was like, no, they're going after her. Yeah. Like, yes, she is probably saying, I'm in your kitchen and you guys are coming after me because I'm totally in your head now. But, it's like we saw, like, you can't complain about that because the girl cross-checked her in the back. The girl smoked her when she was on her knees.
Caught her coming
off the bench, put her shoulder in her.
Yeah.
Like
when she wasn't looking, her head's turned, you smoke her. Like,
it's like
penalty.
It's a penalty. Like
that's all anyone ever really cares about is whether like you just want to know what you're trying to tell your kids at the end of the day. So if you come out and you're trigger happy, and you're blowing the whistle every single time, then that better be the standard for the entire game. It's when you go trigger happy to absolutely nothing. Then coaches go, what are you talking about? Like, what's going on right now? And so that's that line where people kind of get fired up. And that's when kids get fired up. And then that's when games start to go out of hand because, well, you started here at this level. Now you're here. But that same kid that just got whacked across the wrist, he's like, what the? Well, okay, well, now I'm going to go do it to somebody else. Yeah, exactly. And that didn't get called. And then that kid's pissed off. And then the coaches are losing it. And it's like, now the game's completely gone.
This is the thing that I've talked about this a lot. The biggest misconception in refereeing, and we can say this to hockey. So if I'm a hockey referee, and after a game, I sit down and go, well, I gave that team 4 power plays. I gave that team 4 power plays. It was a great, perfectly refereed game. That's a misconception, because if one team deserves 8 power plays and the other team deserves 2, that is a well-ref game. And we have the same thing, and I think in basketball I've seen it, where you're actually literally counting the fouls in basketball, right?
Yes.
Right? And then one team goes, well, coach, we got 8 fouls and they got 1. How is that how's that a well-ref game? But if you deserved 8 fouls and they only deserved 1, like, you're reffing the situation. Like, you're reffing, if it's a foul, it's a foul. I don't care who committed it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Right, it's supposed to be. But then you have the in-game, okay, well, we gave these guys a power play in the first, so we're going to have to find a penalty in the third for these guys. And that's not the way the game should be officiated, right? If it's a penalty, it's a penalty. I don't care what time or what point or whatever. And, like, we've seen it. And we've seen it in the final. We've seen afraid to call penalties. We've seen it. We've seen it in soccer. We've seen it in basketball. Like, right? It just, you gotta have the courage to make that call. And the fouls don't matter to me. Like, I don't care.
That's the messed up thing about hockey is
healing for
you
me.
see an egregious call, and then you're like, well, we're getting one back because that was a terrible call. And you're getting a power play.
Yeah, and that's another thing.
That's not right,
even
though we're
right.
so ingrained with that.
And it's natural. And to young referees, don't go trying to make up a bad call.
Yep.
Because you're just going to make it worse. You know what? You miss calls, and the guy goes, well, I got fouled on that. Yeah, you probably did. I'm sorry, I missed it. But you don't say, well, I'll make it up to you. No.
Like, don't worry, I got you.
No. Like, you made a bad call, you missed a call, let it go. Worry about the next goal. It's like the goalie. Don't worry about the last goal, worry about the next one. So worry about the next call. Don't try and, well, I got to make it up for these guys. I got to make it up. No, don't. Don't make it up. Like, it happens. It's part of the game.
This is therapeutic.
This is therapeutic. The last one I want to get off my chest now that we're in a healing session.
This is a tree of trust.
Is the reffing of the score.
Oh, yeah.
If it's 7-1 and the other team who's down 1 starts playing extra physical, okay, and then the team that's up 7 just responds in kind, don't call the team that's up 7-1 because they're responding in kind. If the other team hits a guy from behind and you're like, oh, man, like, this other team's going to go up 8-1 or 9-1 because I have to go to call 5, call the 5.
Yeah.
Because now you're basically saying, well, just because that team's better, we want to try to maybe get this team back in the game or whatever that looks like. That to me is like one of the biggest issues in hockey that we've seen is reffing the score. Because you're more or less taught, if you're down, well, go run some guys. Yeah. Most coaches will say that. Go run them then. And so guess what?
You're getting your ass kicked.
You're getting your teeth kicked in. So I'm going to now try to respond because I don't want to quit. So people amp up the physicality or the dirtiness or the chippiness. The game goes sideways. So to me, it's okay. Well, like, let's nip this in the butt. If you see that slash come down a little extra hard, that's probably done. Yeah. Like, we don't need to now say, okay, we're going to penalize the other team because they're up 7-1. That to me is like one of the most ridiculous things ever. So that's thank you. Thank you for allowing me to share. This is therapeutic.
And I had a really good friend like that was a good referee in Medicine Hat, and he was reffing I think it was a junior A game, his first junior A game or whatever. And we were talking about it, and he's like, "Well, I'm a little nervous." He goes, "You know what you do is like the first scrum, just pull one guy out of the scrum. The first guy that started the scrum, give him the penalty. One penalty, boys. I'm just taking one of you." And that's like, that'll calm everything down. Like you don't watch Shorzy, do you?
No, I don't.
It's actually a hilarious show. But he refs high school hockey. And he'll go, I'm just taking one. Which one wants it? Well, who wants to go? Who's going to be the lucky guy to go? Like in a scrum, I'm only taking one guy.
I'm picking one of you. I appreciate that.
And that is like, okay, do you want to be the guy? Like the thing that, like when you have a massive scrum and then you okay, one from each team is going, that does nothing.
Yeah.
That does nothing to help. Because the next scrum, you're like, well, they're going to take one of each. So you take one, then you're like, oh, he might just take one of us. Like, might not be the right guy, but he's only taking one of us.
Naturally,
you're like, okay.
Either I'm going to go and get my piece or I'm going to back off because I don't want to hurt my team.
Exactly. Right. So, and that's what happened. And he, went like, but I think you have to establish the line early. You have to establish this is going to be a penalty. This is going to be a foul. And we're going to go from there. And I know that when, we have these clinics and stuff and, we share ideas and there's some referees like, well, I need to know what place this team is and where the rivalry game is. That shouldn't matter. It should not matter.
Yeah, this team playing against that team, that's it.
And I think, and I have that conversation. I'm like, are you refereeing the game any differently if it's first place between second or if it's 10th and 11th?
Right.
You shouldn't be refereeing the game any differently.
Exactly.
At all. Because at that point, to me, like I don't even look at the standings when I go to ref. Like, I don't know what place.
Who's teaching these refs to do gun charts? Like this is BS.
Exactly. But it's different philosophies, right? And I'm like, I don't want to know because I don't want inside to say, okay, this is a number one game. Like then you start anticipating fouls, you start anticipating calls, you start anticipating things like that. So it's just my philosophy, but I think it just it differs. But I just want to ref the way I wanted to be ref. You understand they're gonna miss some stuff, and I see it now. You got 11-year-olds out there trying to ref 9-year-old games, and you got a parent screaming, "That was offside!" They're like by this much. I'm like, buddy, does it really matter?
Just have another sip of your coffee and Bailey's and shut up.
Like, that was offside. That's icing. So they missed an icing. So they missed another 9 or 10. Right? It's just, I've seen, you know what the worst is though? The worst is I've seen some terrible videos of softball parents and baseball parents. Yeah. Because they're right behind the umpire. Oh, God. Oh, I couldn't handle that. I could not handle that. Like, and you hear some of the comments of some of the parents. I couldn't handle that. I'd be like, everyone in left, like to me, that design of having parents right behind is the worst.
The backstop.
I'd be like, if I was a baseball person, I'd be like, no, everyone's down the right field line or the left field line.
Get out
behind
of
the dugouts. No one's behind because it's the snippiness and the it's like I couldn't do it. I would be turning around every time like, God, shut up! I'm clearing this entire section, and it's like, oh my God, it's like,
that's hilarious.
It is hilarious.
And good point.
And you see those videos, I'm like, oh my God, I could not handle that. I could not handle that.
I know there's arenas are getting better and they have like the nicer seats. Silent Ice Center is beautiful, obviously. But we're playing Friday night hockey. It's a pickup game. We play at Glengarry, and there happened to be, I don't know what level this was. It's like Bantam Tier 3. I went and watched for like 5 minutes. It was not good. And these kids are playing for fun. And the parents now, they have like they're carrying out the chairs that they sit in. So they have little back support and they have their blankets and okay, good. Now, if you're turning the hockey rink and the bench seating into like a very comfortable scenario, shut up. Have your coffees and Bailey and shut up. Leave the damn ref alone.
There's
Let the coach
griminess
the
to it.
kids.
If you're going to be grimy, you better be sitting on those bleachers.
I'm watching these parents, men and women, carry these seats out. I'm like, what are those? And I went and looked, and they're sitting, and they have like these very comfortable seats. Just shut up and watch the game.
So, like, I cringe
crying out loud.
Like, I cringe when I see an 11, 10-year-old referee getting flack from the stands. Like, dude, he's 11. So they missed that offside. Is it at the end of the world?
No.
Right? Like, no,
it's not.
Like, it's not. And actually, there are 2 kids that did my nephew's game on Saturday. They called, I think, 6 or 7 body checking penalties, and they were all penalties, right? Like they were all. The only thing is that, so at this age, I noticed that now the kind of shit disturbers are starting to kind of, the guys that are the first in the pile, and you're like, you
kind of appreciate,
you kind of appreciate that. Yeah.
I had a guy like that. We coined him the little ball of hate. His name's Torn Fron. He's the most fun player I've ever coached in my entire life. He was maybe 5'4", wasn't afraid of anybody, and he was just like a bowling ball on skates. So like he was taking runs at you. But there was a few times where he would start a scrum, and I remember this one because we were in Langley. We were playing at the rinks at Summit Center in Abbotsford against Langley.
Okay.
Starts a scrum. There's this big dog pile that happens, and somehow I could see him crawling his way out of the pile, and he just stands up and starts skating away. And then guys realized that he was like out of the pile. They started going after him, and he's got like the cage dangle, the cage dangle where it like hangs off your face. He's like doing this one, skating, chirping guys, and you could just see the other team being like, "We're gonna kill this kid." Yeah. And so he's playing in the KIJHL. And I was looking at his stats the other day, and it's like he almost had a point a game.
Yep.
But his PIMs after like 20 were like 174 PIMs. So he clearly is just like, you know what? I'm going to continue with this absolute nonsense, and I'm just going to stir up everybody. But he wasn't as skilled as Marchand, but like the same antics. Like, he would drive me
I would
insane.
hate playing against guys like that.
Yeah, no, and you can start. My nephew's team's got a couple of shit disturbers on, and they're kind of funny. They are funny.
And they 10 or 11.
It's under 11.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's U11. Yeah, U11.
Yeah.
So they're 10 years old. They develop their personality, but it's funny to see. But the refs, so he started something in the corner, and then the refs picked out the wrong kid. He had done nothing.
Oh, yeah.
They put him in the box, and he's sitting there going, "I didn't do anything." When everybody knew, like, yeah, no, they got the wrong kid. Sorry, something.
Again, you shouldn't be
be there, but
sip that coffee, have another coffee and Bailey's, and sit back in your comfy chair.
Here's his stats right now. I just pulled it up because I was
this
curious.
KIJHL, by the way, is like it's very interesting to me.
Completely different conversation.
Yeah, I know. We're not going to get into it.
Okay, so he's got 30 points right now in 27 games.
I would say he's having a decent season.
But he's got 198 pimps.
I would say this guy's a shit disturber.
And it's got his projected stats are to have 34 and 42 and 225 pimps. And like you are affecting the score sheet time.
What's his bio?
It says 5'5", but that's like standing on phone books, man.
Those are the worst guys to play against. Yeah, you couldn't do anything about them.
Little buggers.
So funny. Yeah.
Collingwood Rob Texan says, I refed a coach in junior B. We were out in Gibbons freezing our asses off. He kept chirping me when they were down by 5 early in the third. He challenged me to throw him out. I yelled back, I'm only going to give you bench minors so that you can freeze your ass off with your team. His whole team laughed, and then after the game, he came and apologized. Yeah. I appreciate the
back and forth,
gamesmanship, the back and forth.
I've heard a ref say, I'm not going to throw you out. I'm going to make you watch this for the rest of the game.
Yeah, because there'll be guys that they want to get kicked out when the team's getting destroyed.
No, you're gonna stay here and watch this.
I can't walk through the parents after this game after getting destroyed like this.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
I'll make you stay here and watch it. So, but I exactly I don't have a problem with a player yelling at me at the heat of the battle. They didn't like the call. It's natural.
Yeah.
Like my thing is like you're 40 feet away and you're chirping at me. It's something that I settled it with your player. Yeah. Why are you still yelling at me?
I like the line you use. You're the only one here we don't need for this game.
I said that. I used it a lot.
That's brilliant.
I was like, you're the only one of all of us. I said, you're the only one we don't need to continue this game.
See, I would fire right back and be like, actually, you're the only one we don't need because we have a very just game after this.
And then you would be sitting having a coffee in your office.
And I'd be like, I'm not leaving.
Yes, you are.
Call your own fouls then. see how that works out for you.
And then what was that kid's name?
Torin Fron.
Someone texted, can the Oilers fit him in the cap? Well, he's itty bitty.
Man, he's itty bitty.
Yeah.
But he is one of the biggest gamers I've ever seen.
I appreciate that very much.
There's a kid on my nephew's team that he's fun to watch.
You know what, man? Sometimes you need those poop disturbers.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch.
All right. It's the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage. Tom Gazzola, Shawn, Belle, Derek Van Diest with you on this Wednesday edition of the show, you can text us 780-218-9999. It's been a very therapeutic show. We've had some fun. Belle's in a better place.
He's in a better place. I think he understands.
He understands.
From the other side. I once said, referees with ego, you should not have ego if you're a referee.
Oh, God.
Right?
That's true.
It's not about you. It's like media guys with ego. Why do we have egos? We shouldn't.
I think we all do, but okay. Can I please get through this and we can touch on it? And we have to talk about Team Canada.
I think I touched on it.
All right. Portions of this hour brought to you by the official drink partner of the EST Hangout, Dylan's Small Batch. Get their gin. There's the vodka drink, refreshing cocktails, handcrafted with gin and vodka. A mix of crisp apple, tart, cranberry, and a hint of cherry blossom. That is the gin cocktail. Apple cranberry. They also have blackberry lemon, apple cranberry, strawberry rhubarb. And then they have martinis, cold brew espresso, sour cherry Negroni spritz. I still want to try that. The vodka mule, I had that. It was great. They have a Cosmopolitan. They have a G&T. And you can go check them out at Sobe Safeway Liquor and anywhere where you get your beveraginos, as we like to say. Someone called me out for using beveragino the other day.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Before we get into that,
yes,
because that's a. Oh. Did anybody see that skier that basically was it was a cross country skier that was basically sprinting up the hill?
Up the hill, yeah.
He was like doing like a 6 minute, under a 6 minute mile.
6 minute mile with skis up the hill.
That's crazy. No, I did not.
Insane thing ever.
Those guys are crazy.
So it was on Jay and Reed show yesterday, and they're like, what do you, or like, what's your favorite athlete, I guess, in the Olympics? And I'm like, well, basically anybody that's going downhill. But after looking at that, like, you know how hard that would be to sprint up a hill at that type of pace?
Cross country is like one of the most punishing, grueling.
Have you seen that clip?
No, I have not.
It's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, it's unreal. No, that's a tough. I remember we did it once, and I'm like, this is stupid. I hate this so hard. It is so hard. It's hard to do.
Did you have to do it in school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did it in high school.
It was really hard. We used to do it in school as well.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it because it was something a little bit different, right, than the normal gym class.
Yeah.
We were like, man, you got to respect that stuff. But then after seeing this, I'm like, holy crap. Like, that is, you're an Olympic athlete. You're at the top of your sport.
Are they not allowed to show the video?
Some of those videos are. I put up a video the other day and they got flagged.
Oh, really?
Yeah, of Draisaitl carrying the flag. So I clipped it and put it on there, but I guess I infringed a copyright rule.
Well, IOC is super tight about that stuff.
So I infringed a copyright rule.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. It's been deleted.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. I'll try to find it.
It was flagged.
It was one of the most impressive things I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe on Instagram it's there.
But going back to your comment right before Tommy,
about media guy egos.
That was not my comment. That was his comment.
No, I know. Right? But before you went and did your
sponsor read,
your sponsor
paying
read.
the bills.
Yeah. I don't understand it. I listen. I'm just getting into the media world now, and I'm not naming names. I'm not going to say anything other than my little comment here. But I don't understand why there's so much arrogance in it.
I don't understand it either. I've never. The one thing I get, back when I started, I was kind of the tail end of the newspaper guys had a lot of pull.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had a lot of, look at the pull I have, so I have this arrogance. But you're holding a mic. You're talking to, you're not the story. The story is the guy you're talking to.
Yeah, that's true.
So it shouldn't be about you, right? That's the issue. And I guess right now they're having problems because teams are closing practices and they can't watch practice. We were talking about this, Tom, the other day. Do we really pay attention watching practice? We're like,
no, we don't.
Those are the lines, and then that's a cool drill, and then
I don't care what PP1 is doing today.
As long as they still talk to you after the game, they say, "Hey, what happened in practice?" There you get another.
The story is the players.
So it is the players. So it's story should always be the players or the game or whatever's going. It should never be about you. So
yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's, to me, it's like, we talk about this stuff all the time, and I laugh sometimes in some of our group chats at work because I'm just like, I don't understand the drama. Like we're all doing the exact same thing, and is it you want to be right versus this person wants to be right. Like to me, I'm like, I don't understand. I don't care. If you got it right, then you got it right. I personally don't care. But you don't need to now go at me because I got it right.
Yeah.
Instead of you, or maybe there's some details that you're missing. Like to me, that makes no sense. Like, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah.
Like this whole back and forth nonsense. Like, really? Is that what we need today?
Oh, I know what you're referencing.
Yeah.
I'm referencing lots of those conversations.
No,
I'm just like,
yeah.
grow up.
The need to be first on something now is so.
I probably can't speak because I'm probably guilty of all of this. So but I try not to be. I don't know. Like,
I see too much of it. And, for a person that's just getting into the media world, like, I don't know. I try to be drama free. I try to respect everybody. Like you've been doing this for 25 years. You've been doing it for 30 years. You've been doing it for 1,000 years. You probably should retire. But like, I respect all of those
guys.
What do you mean?
I respect all of you guys, and I respect your opinion. And as a guy that's trying to break into it, well, here we are. But
How do you feel about media guys who try to run teams?
not commenting on that.
All right. It's the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage. This guy, this Norwegian, this is unbelievable. I saw the
It's
video.
crazy.
That is crazy. Going uphill like that. That guy is a beast.
Yeah, they showed him training on a treadmill and he had it elevated like this and he was literally running on his skis.
He went past 15 on the incline.
I don't know how high he went.
That's
on the
very
incline,
impressive. Okay. The men's hockey team gets going tomorrow against Czechia. The men's hockey tournament has begun. Slovakia and Finland were tied at 1 after 2. I haven't followed up since. Where are we at with Team Canada right now? How do we feel about the men's
team? It's gonna be interesting to see. McDavid. I guess what was the line? McDavid,
Celebrini, and
Wilson.
Love that line.
I think it's a good line. It's gonna be fun. Hey, you look at that lineup and just open the gate.
Line one.
Yeah.
Top pairing.
What are the actual lines though?
Oh,
Well, because they closed
two
practice.
of the lines.
They closed practice the last couple of days, so they don't have the.
So you had Celebrini, McDavid, and Wilson.
Yeah.
I had heard it was Marchand, McKinnon, and Suzuki. Mm-hmm. So then what would be the next two lines?
hang on, let me look.
Crosby obviously be on third line with Reinhart.
Here we go. This is from Masters. McDavid, Celebrini, Wilson, McKinnon, Marchand, Suzuki, Crosby, Stone, and Marner. Horvat between Hagel and Reinhart. Jarvis and Bennett are your extras. Taves with Makar. Morrissey with Parayko. Harley with Doughty. Theodore, Sanheim, the fourth pair. I'm kind of surprised about Shea Theodore. Would expect him to be
So
in.
in Olympics, you can dress 13 forwards and 7 defensemen. Can you have 20 guys and the goalie on the bench? Okay. Yeah.
That was a couple days
So
ago.
I could see Sanheim being out, and I could see Jarvis being out, and Bennett being on the bench with Theodore on.
Yeah.
I like those lines. I forgot that Marner was on the team for some reason.
Well, I think they go celebrating McDavid, Marner.
Is Stone a little bit surprising on that third line?
Okay, hang on. We have updated lines.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, that was from Masters 2 days ago. This is from today. Top line the same. McDavid, Celebrini, Wilson. Second line, McKinnon, Hagel, Reinhart. Third line, Crosby, Mitch Marner, Mark Stone. I shouldn't even call them 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. Horvat between Marchand and Suzuki on defense. Taves, Makar, Morrissey, Parayko, Theodore, Sanheim. That is as of a couple hours ago.
Are those better?
I don't know. I don't see holes on this team.
Either do I.
like-
But then you always ask yourself, like, because the true competition for Canada right now is the Americans. So
Why do you discount the Swedes?
I just don't think they have enough juice.
I know.
I think they're really good. I just don't know if they have enough juice to kind of get over Canada or the States.
I think the CZEX are going to be
Really?
I think they could be the up and coming team that
I
might
think they're
catch
the
you.
undercovers.
Yeah, very
What about
much.
Germany?
I don't know. Like, do they have the depth?
No,
I don't think they have the
Swiss,
depth, but they're
same
starting to
thing.
get there.
They don't have the depth.
Yeah.
Who I talked to, I think of Mark Sturm about that when he was here.
But are they good enough to be like a top 5?
Yeah, I think they could
maybe.
be, yeah. I don't know, how good is the DL?
Yeah, you played in it.
CA.
Okay.
I'd like to give the example. So when I played in Sweden, well, we were backtrack more. When I was playing in the DEL, we'd always play in the Champions Hockey League.
Yeah.
And so you would go play against teams from Sweden, Finland, Austria, Switzerland. And so if you're one of those top end DEL teams, you're probably in the upper portion of that tournament. The best teams were always the Swedish teams.
Yeah.
They always won. So when I played in Sweden, we lost in the finals to a Finnish team. But then when I was with Färjestad, we came over here. We played against the Marlies and we played against AHL All-Stars. Okay. So the AHL All-Stars were like Hoffman, McNabb, some pretty good players that ended up having decent NHL careers. And it was the Olympic year and we had 3 guys out of the lineup. So we played the AHL All-Stars. We lost to them 7-2. Then we went and played the Marlies, and that year the Marlies were the best team, and we lost to them 4-3 in OT. So it's the same.
Yeah.
Right? And at that time, the DEL wasn't as good as what the Swedish league was, and so the DEL has actually improved quite a bit since then. So yeah, like to me, it would be the A. I'd be like Sweden, Finland, the DEL, and a bit of Czech Republic. Switzerland are kind of all the same level.
Where's Russia? Where's the
Russia's it's up here. It's its own level. But if you're talking about like straight across the board, like I would say those leagues are more or less the A.
Yeah.
Russia would be like that point between the NHL and the A. Like it's just in its own no man's land because it's really good because you're getting the best players that are in those European where they want to make a ton of money. They go off and they do that thing in Russia.
And it's just the money that
that brings them
elevates that league. Okay.
And then after that, like Austria, Slovakia, some of the other leagues would be another notch down. So it's like, it's just totally dependent where you are. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like if you're an upper end, DL team, you're probably an upper end AHL team.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been guys across the board that have gone from the DL into the NHL. Like 3 off the top of my head. So, and they're all big and they all could skate and they all played physical and, then they decided to go back because they wanted to be the guy in their respective countries. So,
is it easy money too for them?
In their own country?
Yeah.
100% it is.
Yeah.
Right? Like
that's kind of nice.
Like there's a kid, David Wolf, he came across and he played with Calgary's farm team. He played a little bit with the Flames as well. He's a big kid. He's like 6'4", 220.
David Wolf?
Yeah, David Wolf. When he plays in Germany, like he's the man.
Yeah.
Like he is the man. He came over. He was tough when he was over there. Came here, fought some guys. I think Brandon Bolig at one point was ultra tough. He fought him. He had a short stint here, then ended up going back, and he's made tons of money.
Yeah. 59 games with the Adirondack Flames in the AHL 2014-15. 3 games with the Calgary Flames.
Yep. So he's translated. Andreas Martinson. He had a bit of a stint with Colorado, Montreal. Like he played for a while. Same kind of idea. Big, could skate. I'm pretty sure I tried to get the Oilers to take him because he was good. Like he was a good player.
Which guy?
Andreas Martinson.
Okay.
But yeah, there's always guys like across the different leagues that start to try to.
Are you a media guy trying to influence the team?
I wasn't a media guy at the time.
Just checking.
I was just a guy trying to help the Oil.
But you're agent.
At that time, no, I was still playing, and I remember I can't remember who I called, and I was like, "Man, you guys might want to come check this player out." And my buddy David Oliver, who was working with the
great guy
with the Avs at the time, he actually came over, watched him play. He came out with us one day, and so we just kind of got to know him. And then all of a sudden, he was with the Avs the next year. So it's like there is players over there that could instantaneously play in the NHL. So
Yeah. It's about opportunity, I guess. Yeah.
it's all opportunity. Like it's I don't know. People chirp it a lot because they don't know, but it is way better hockey than people think it is.
So I don't know. It'd be interesting. I'm curious to see Canada's goaltending situation for tomorrow.
Bennington listed as the starter. by
Yeah.
the
So
way.
what happens if he gives up 3 bad goals? And
He won't
Canada
be the
wins
starter
5-3?
the next game.
He's done.
One and done. Right.
out.
Then you go with Logan Thompson.
I think so.
I think I wrote in my preview that I thought Logan Thompson would be the number 1 way in the tournament.
He could be.
Yeah.
That's
And
happened before.
Yeah. And if they go down to Kemper, then they're in big trouble.
All right, we got a few minutes left. Let's get to Over Under, brought to you by Play Alberta. When you play in Alberta, it stays in Alberta. Of course, use your game sense. Over Under tomorrow's game, Canada wins by more than 1.5 goals.
Yeah, I think they win 5-3. 6-3 maybe.
Okay, so he's taking over.
I'll take the over as well.
What are you thinking?
I think Canada's going to probably put up 5, 6, maybe even 7.
I'm gonna go
They're going
under
to score a lot of goals.
4-3.
Really?
Yeah, just kind of to be contrarian.
Did
But
you see that lineup? Can you read that lineup again to us?
no, I can't. I don't know how to read. I'm sorry.
Scoring is not going to be an issue. Keeping a puck out of their net might be an issue. And then those guys have 4 feet less to skate up and down the ice.
3, thank you. And you think it's going to make a big difference?
I think it'll make a
You think
difference.
it's going to make a big difference? I don't.
Oh, that turnovers in the neutral zone are going to come back down your
they
throat
come at you
fast.
so quick.
I think
Fast.
we're making a bigger
I think
deal
3
out of
feet
this than
makes a
we
big
need to.
deal. That's like having the mound half an inch closer to the plate. That's going to make a
It's
massive.
gonna
That
make
makes a
difference.
massive difference.
Because you got to think about like how quickly neutral zone transitions happen. You turn that puck over in the NHL based on the dimensions. You have 2 or 3 more extra steps to then get into the zone. But that's gone.
You watch
so
how
that turnover
fast-
happens, gone.
Through the neutral zone.
I don't believe you guys, but I trust you.
All right, well, you watch the game? You familiar with hockey at all?
Nope.
I know, but
media
David
guy.
said it won't make a big difference, but it will make a big difference. Like you're gonna see the speed of the turnovers, and they're gonna come back down your throat real
Yep.
quick. Like people, they're gonna be saying, there's gonna be a lot. I think there's gonna be a lot of dumping as soon as you get to the blue line, the red line, because like if you try to make a play between the red line and the blue line, and it turn it over, it's coming back so
It's
fast.
in your zone right away.
Right away. So a lot of coaches saying, just get over the red line and flip it into the zone.
We finally have best on best, which is all I really care about. This is going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to this tournament. It's already underway. The Slovaks and the Finns playing right now. It should be in the 3rd period. It was 1-1 the last I checked. Let's see. Do we have any
So
updates?
the Swedes and the Italians.
Hey,
Italians are all
Paisan.
Canadian guys, right? Is that
Yeah,
right?
you know.
Right?
Yeah.
I like the Swedish team, but mind you, Nylander's hurt.
Something about Slavkovsky. Dalibor Dvorsky's go-ahead goal. We have a still image of it as of 4 minutes ago from
3-1.
TSN. Yeah, this
The
is
Slovaks.
Yeah.
it's weird with these up because you can't put video up because the IOC clamps down on it. So
Are you talking about Slavkovsky goal?
it's 3-1. Is there a video of it?
Yeah, there was. I just had
From where?
Someone tweeted out, but might have been taken down by now.
Spit and Chicklets.
Oh, it'll probably get
it's a
taken.
nice goal too.
Arpon says Slavkovsky meeting the moment here. Okay. Slavkovsky
he's got 2.
legacy game, says
He's got
Sneaky
2
Joe from
He's got 2
Buffalo.
goals.
All right, that's awesome. Okay, what did we learn? Do we feel better? You feel good?
Yeah, this was healing.
Therapeutic?
This was good. Yeah.
Yes, very
Yeah,
good.
feel much better about refs.
Okay. You're not getting kicked out of your next game that you coach.
No. I haven't been
might-
kicked
he
out
might-
of 1 in 4
He
years.
might get
Okay.
still.
I don't like paying
pizza party.
$500 pizza parties.
Well, you know where you're going for your pizza party. You're going to go see Tony at BP 170th.
Speaking of which, yeah, I got to actually get that done.
Oh, yeah, you
I'm
have a
not
pizza party
letting
coming.
him off the hook with that, by the way.
With his bets?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm kind of hungry right now, and I think I want to bet where I get free pizza or free
that
BP for a year. So maybe I'll just go over there and just be like, please put it on Tony's tab.
Also, that I have free BPs for a year
How? Oh, yeah.
because it was part of the bets
With
too.
the bet, yeah.
Man, I'm really slacking right now. I'm
Let's go.
letting him off the hook.
Let's go. We're going for lunch, but I got to do oil stream. DVD, what's going on with you? You're doing
I'm
Olympic
off
coverage?
today. I'm going to watch Olympics. I'm actually covering the Germany game tomorrow.
Ooh.
So I got to write it off TV.
Okay.
We only have enough guys to go around down there, so they can't be everywhere. There's 4 games tomorrow.
Did they not send like a small army of NHL.com /
not
NHL
really,
Network
no. They
people?
only sent like 4 guys.
Oh, okay.
So we only have 4 guys down there, and there's 4 games, and then there's lots going on tomorrow.
There's lots going on.
Lots going on tomorrow. So yeah, so they said, "Can you do the Germany-Denmark game?" Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll watch the Draisaitl game and see."
Perfect.
I have no problem there. But yeah, I don't know. I've never covered an Olympics, but it sounds like everything's going on everywhere. So
Yeah.
it's tough to be everywhere at one
it'd be
time,
awesome.
right? So and they're using 2 different rinks there, right? So
Yep.
So I was thinking about this the other day. Sorry, before I sign off.
That's okay.
Because they got a rink for figure skating, they got a rink for short track speed skating, they got 2 rinks for hockey. So how many rinks did they build in Milan?
They have
They
a
must
few.
have built like 3 or
question.
4, right?
Yeah. They got it done.
They got it
Barely.
done.
That ice looked terrible yesterday. Like they
Yeah.
were showing shots from inside the net, and you're looking at the crease, and you can see like the.
Well, after
The
4
seams.
games, 4 men's games
Yeah.
tomorrow. We'll see how that ice
Yeah.
comes
Gonna
up.
be chewed up.
It's good luck. Yeah,
No.
Dan Craig and his crew. I mean, they've got the best people there working on it.
He's the best guy. So he's the best guy for a reason.
And that practice rink is under a tent, by the way.
I know it's
That,
awesome.
that looks neat. It looks really, really neat. It was also very refreshing not talking about the Edmonton Oilers and those that are like, oh, they're going to make a coaching change this week.
Yeah, that's not
Everybody's on holidays.
Nobody's talking to anybody.
Don't.
Just
Thank
let that
you.
go.
I've got an hour of
Let
oil
that go.
stream coming up.
Street coming up. Okay, let
Yeah,
it go.
I can
there
count
are
that.
no talks going on right now. Okay, everyone's on holidays.
Yeah,
Everyone's in Mexico unless they're videoing from Mexico.
You're literally
or
not
Saudi
nice.
Arabia, wherever.
But I thought there was a
report.
report that came out this morning.
And with that, it's the end of the EST Hangout. Presented by Sentinel Storage. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, all that good stuff. Coming up next, it is the Log Shop with Dusty and Huss for DVD and Belle. I'm Tommy saying thank you. Have a great day. We'll see you in a little bit.
Let's go.
There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanek, Tom Zola with here. Joining us today,